Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Space Nomad. In the series of reviewing space books, episode 2, we have this book, The Farthest Shore, 21st Century Guide to Space, edited by Joseph Belton and Angelina Buckley. This book is actually this book we used to get when we started at my master's degree at International Space University in Strasbourg. They gave me a copy and all my classmates. Unfortunately, I lost my copy back then and I had to buy it again. But this book is basically a guide about space in general. So it starts with how space is viewed by different cultures in terms of poetry, music, television, novel, science fiction, different parts of the world from India, China, Japan, Europe, and also Middle East and other parts. So it starts from in kind of a chronological order to explain the steps to how we got to space, to where we are today, and how different cultures view space in general. So from there on, it goes to what happened essentially to get to the steps where we were, and it also explains some of the things that are needed to get to space. So for example, it goes about the use of satellites and their benefits for humanity, the different subsystems within a satellite, like power, communication, etc., etc. Further on, it also talks about how space started, obviously, between government, and now more and more it's becoming private, as you probably have noticed with some of the space companies that have come over in the last 10 or 20 years, especially with big names like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and to name a few. It also goes about the future of space, and where there will be only space, private space, or both a mixture of private and public, and also about expanding humanity to different parts of the solar system, as Mars and other planets. So it covers a lot of topics and a lot of sections, but it also talks about, like, it tries to go in a chronological order, where it covers like how certain cultural aspects inspired many of these space pioneers, and how step by step that turned into further curiosity to build actual hardware to see if you can send it to space. And from there on, obviously, we know Second World War, and after that, when the Allies won, the Cold War started, and then you had like the two main rivals, USSR and US, competing for the new territory, which is space. So from there on, also, to make sure that neither of the two parties wipe out each other, there were also agreements signed to make sure also space stays accessible. Things like the Outer Space Agreement, the Moon Agreement, the Liability Agreement, among others. So it talks about, in a general aspect, how we got from inspiration about space to step by step building the hardware for space, and then from there on improving upon that and trying to not only compete on a military front but also bring benefit to humanity in general, and the competitive aspect where you have not only countries competing but also now companies competing. So it covers like things like astronomy, how some of the big telescopes have discovered new galaxies, new worlds, and that's why they call this book Your 21st Century Guide to Space, because it covers a lot of those aspects and it goes over them in a more general way, so that even someone that is a beginner, that has no knowledge of space, that has not been exposed to anything space, can have an understanding of, okay, this is like the beginning, and from there on build upon it. And I think this was one of the main reasons why when we started our master's degree at International Space University, they gave us this book, because we had people from different parts of the world. We had people from different, not only cultural background, but also different background in terms of profession, in terms of experiences. So some people had engineering background, some people had arts or politics or psychology, or different types of background that have nothing to do with space. So for people like that, it's easier to get a book that talks about space in a general way and covers interdisciplinary aspect of space, from space engineering to space politics to space law, to space sciences, etc., etc. So that's how you can get more and more people slowly getting introduced to space that are not necessarily actually people with the space engineering background. So this is what I made sure I got this book. I bought it again. I bought it because I lost my copy that I got from ICU at that time. So, and made a summary about it. So this is in general what this book is talking about. If you have any further questions, or you would like to ask any further questions in regards to this book, please feel free to reach out. I'll make sure also I'll reach out back to you. And if you have any other further advice or anything you want to add to it, please feel free also to comment, and please also subscribe and like, and I will make sure I will review the next books that I've also that I read and share with you guys as well. Thank you very much.